the consistent ability to develop a skilled labor force, and their ability to rewrite their economic destiny. This is true for Germany, for Singapore, for China, for the United States. The work of transformation requires many skilled hands. This is why tertiary institutions and vocational education is critical for Kenya. We know that with your skills in the marketplace, we will have enough capacity to meet the needs of enterprise, the needs of industry, and the needs of innovation in our country. We are confident that we can expand industry and enterprise and innovation. We are confident that with you out there putting your skills to use, we will have the necessary talent to anchor the Big Four agenda and our Vision 2030. For a long time, the underdevelopment of the tertiary and vocational education was one of our country's biggest limitations. We were losing hundreds of thousands of young people every year in the transition from secondary into the marketplace, wasting incredible talent and human resource in the process. When the Jubilee administration was elected in 2013, the revolution of TVET sector was one of our key agendas. We knew that if we hoped to become a globally competitive economy, we needed a globally competitive talent pool. This is why we have invested a lot of resources and energy into developing the TVET sector, including providing student loans from Higher Education Loans Board. And this investment is bearing fruit. Enrollment to vocational and technical training institutions doubled from 127,000 in 2012 to 275,000 in 2017. Over the last 2 years, another 130,000 more students have been enrolled in our TVETs across the country. And we are not done. There are another 130 new technical training institutions at various stages of construction and completion, and we are in the process of recruiting an additional 1,000 trainers to add on to the already recruited 2,000 trainers just this year. There are now more students enrolled in TVET institutions than there are in our universities for the first time in the history of our country. And of the trainers that will be recruited, I'm informed that out of the 3,000 that will be hired, 87 will come to this institution and will greatly reduce the gap and the shortage of trainers that has for a long time plagued this great institution of Eldoret National Polytechnic. Our goal is to make sure that no investor or industrialist will lack the talent or the human resource they need to run their enterprise or businesses. We want a society where there is a variety of professional opportunities across the entire economic spectrum so that there is room for everybody. Getting students into class is just one part of the solution. We also have to make sure the content in class is at par with what employers expect. This is why the government unveiled a new competence-based curriculum that aims to address the mismatch between courses taught in class and the capabilities required in industry. This curriculum will enable young people to adopt and adapt to changes in technology and the nature of work in the future. It is argued that we live in a changing world, but the truth is It is argued that we live in a changing world, but the truth is, the world has already changed, and it is the adaptation to this change that is now necessary, and innovation is the only way to make it in the new world order. To the graduates, I have called you transformers, and I urge you to live up to that tag in your mentality and attitude. Transform the way you think, hunger and chase for solutions, value addition and innovation. You may have finished your course, but the learning has just begun. Make yourself proud, do big things with your skills, take on the challenges you see around you, and stay away from destructive behavior. Kenya is going places, and you certainly have a right. Thank you very much. Thank you. The solutions to the challenges we face in the country are not going to come from just political leaders, but from inventors, entrepreneurs, and all groups who look at our problems with fresh eyes and a transformative attitude. I have great faith that you will make your mark in our economy, in our society, and make a tangible contribution to the greatness of our nation. Before I conclude this remark, let me say two things. Number one, I want to agree with the speakers who have spoken before me that TVET holds the master key to where we want to go into the future. And I want to say that because TVET holds the master key, and because we have had huge investments in our TVET sector, and a lot of interest has been developed by young people in our nation, in our TVET sector. We have invested a lot of resources in building the necessary infrastructure. We have put a lot of resources in expanding equipment that is available for training. We have put a lot of resources in hiring additional trainers and lecturers in our TVET institutions. And this year, we have expanded capitation and provided resources for loans and grants for TVET training around the country. We believe we have set up the necessary infrastructure to now transit our TVET training to competence-based education and training. And therefore, all our TVETs around the country have no reason whatsoever not to transit to competence-based education and training. It is therefore the position of the government of Kenya that from January, all our TVET institutions must now implement competence-based training and examination. We do expect that from January, and we know this is a major leap and it will have challenges here and there, but I want to advise that we are better off managing the challenges of competence-based training than continuing the system of education that we've had for years that has not given us the results that we are looking for. And I am happy to note that many principals across the country are actually ready to move TVET to the next level. I want to encourage all principals around the country of all our TVET institutions that because you hold the master key, the Big Four plan and Vision 2030, its success will depend on the men and women that you generate from our TVET institutions. And the government of Kenya and the people of Kenya are looking to TVET and to competence-based education and training to provide the manpower that will drive our transformation, beginning from enhancing productivity and production, creating value, creating jobs, creating wealth, so that we can eliminate poverty and move the country to real world-class or middle-income economy. So it is the education of our young people, it is the education of our population, it is the competence-based education and training that will provide the requisite human capital that will transform this nation, moving it from where we are to the next level. And therefore, if you look at the Big Four, the aim of the Big Four plan, from food security, value addition, agro-processing, manufacturing, to universal health coverage, to the housing plan, it is a plan that is supposed to enhance productivity, create value, create jobs, and create wealth. And that is the plan that will pull Kenya out of poverty and move us to the next level. And I want to tell our TVET institutions, you are at a very pivotal stage in the transformation of our nation. And as Deputy President, I am confident that we can change this country in our lifetime if we get our education, training right. And I think for the first time, we have it right. And therefore, you occupy a very special place in making Kenya the Kenya that all the citizens of this nation is looking for. And let me repeat for emphasis, the Big Four plan, which includes the transformation of our education and training, especially making it competence-based, is central to creating or enhancing productivity, creating value, creating employment, and creating wealth. That is where Kenya will really make the leap to a middle-income economy that supports the 45 million citizens of our nation. I believe that if we concentrate our efforts, our energy, our resources in that direction, Kenya will change for everybody, and we will eliminate ethnic competition, unnecessary political rivalry, and be able to move this nation to a level where we have harmony, because everybody has an opportunity in this nation. Therefore, I'm requesting that when we finish this meeting, the principal of this institution has requested me to have a small session with the drivers of our TVET institutions. And I think that is one meeting I am looking forward to, because it is really the direction that we need to go. So, without mincing words, I was in Rivertex about 4 months ago with His Excellency the President. When we asked in Rivertex how many of the workers in Rivertex came from TVET, the answer was 95%. 95% of the workforce of Rivertex came from TVET. Again, about 3 months ago, we went to open an industrial park in Thika, managed by Vimal Shah and his group of companies, called the Bidco group of companies. And again, we asked the question, how many of the workforce of almost 2,000 workers came from TVET? And it was the same, 95% come from TVET. So when we say TVET has the master key, that is what we mean. And therefore, the learning, the training, the examination of our TVET graduates must be at a level that produces a human capital with the requisite competencies for them to make that useful contribution to the transformation of our nation. I was happy this morning when I went to one of the labs and the pharmacy students were taking me through what they are doing. I was very encouraged that in these TVET institutions, we are generating the men and women that will make it possible for us to implement our universal health coverage plan, because that is where the trick is. So, again, to the managers of TVET and to the citizenry of our nation, we have the plan to transform this nation, and everybody must pull their weight and execute their bit so that we can make Kenya a great nation, because we have the capacity to do it. So with those many remarks, to the graduates, congratulations, my very best wishes as you begin the journey to making your contribution to the transformation of our nation. We will pray for you, we will support you, and please understand that the government of Kenya will continuously create opportunity for you to deploy your talent and your expertise and the competencies that you have learned in this college and in all the other colleges around the country. Thank you very much, and may the good Lord bless you.